Hey YouTube, this is KingCobraJFS with another video. And today at work, there was some mild work drama involved. Basically what ended up happening was two of my coworkers got into a fight. One of them ended up going home and maybe coming back to work later that night. The other one got arrested for battery assault, and not likely she's getting a job back. Yes, two of my female co-workers got into a fight. I didn't see the whole thing go down. The only thing I saw was the ending when one of them was coming out of the kitchen area just pissed, saying, "Fuck all you guys, I'm done with this shit," and then pretty much leaving the spawn, going out in the parking lot and whatnot. And the person she got into a fight with goes out to, you know, try to fix it, try to deal with it, I guess. But what ended up happening was the other coworker involved, both of them, I guess, were throwing fists and shit and just duking it out. And it didn't help things too that customers were right there in the lobby watching the whole thing go down, because they were doing this on the front line for the entire lobby to see. Cops showed up. One of them got arrested for physical assault. The other one just pretty much decided to say, "Fuck it," and leave, and I guess come back later on that day. But holy shit balls, dude. You know, what the fuck? Okay, if you don't like your job, here's the thing: 2-week notice. Find a different one. Okay? If you continue to sit there at the same goddamn fucking job, okay, and you don't bother to look for another one, and then you continue to bitch because the job you're at makes you unhappy, shut the fuck up. You're not doing anything to fucking change it, so shut the fuck up. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Anyway, I'm looking forward to re-dyeing my hair again. I gotta say, this green, I'm a bit disappointed with the way the splat colors are. I guess for some people they really work, but for me, I don't know, it just didn't quite take all the way, so I'm not upset with the color. It's not the worst color in the world as far as hair goes, but I'll most definitely be dyeing it black here when I get a chance again. The nice onyx black that I had it before I dyed it green, so yeah. But yeah, this kind of thing, it makes you wonder, wait a second, what the, what exactly is going down here, you know? And for real though, that's just one of those things where you have to ask yourself, you know, if in fact, okay, your job's pissing you off. You know, we all have those moments in our job where our job frustrates the hell out of us. It happens to all of us, believe me, I'm sure it does, okay? But here's the thing, if you're having trouble at your job, you know, and you feel like another coworker is upsetting you, you know, and you got a shit ton of customers to deal with, the proper way to deal with it is to wait until you're done with your customer rushes and all that before you go and talk about it privately to a more secluded part of the building or outside, or wait till you're on break to talk about it, you know. And, you know, rationally discuss things with people. That's a much better, you know, result than doing what they did today. And the worst part of it is, like I said, it was in front of all the customers that were there to watch it. And, you know, I don't want that to affect people's opinion when choosing their next place to eat for fast food, as far as fast food goes, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, I don't know, you know, all I heard is what happened. I didn't see what happened. All I saw, like I said, the ending of it when one was walking out, basically slamming the door and saying, "Fuck this shit, I'm done with it," yada, yada, yada. Okay. And, I don't know, you know, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, there was work drama here. I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm not going to let it get the rest of my day down. I'm going to do my job like I'm supposed to, get through my shift and clock out. And that's exactly what I did. But the thing that concerns me is that now with the customers there watching the whole thing go down, But one of the people involved in the fight was a manager. She was not the one that went to jail, the other person did. And normally when you're dealing with a coworker that's, you know what I'm saying, my reaction would have been like, okay, you're causing troubles, go the fuck home. Okay, and I would have sent the person home. I wouldn't have tried to reason with the person at all. And the problem with this, unfortunately, is the person that went to jail today, that was arrested because the cops were called and they came on the spot at Wendy's today and arrested this person for battery assault. Is this person is rather negative at times and kind of down and always bitching about how much their life sucks and poor me, poor me, poor me, life isn't fair, life isn't fair. Okay? You want to do that in your own goddamn time? That's your thing, dude. Whatever. Okay? But a rule of thumb and generalization is that it doesn't matter what fucking job you have, if you're having a bad day, okay, the drama outside of work stays outside of work, you know? But the unfortunate thing is that the drama that was outside of work was also a part of work, because the drama between this person and the other person, they need each other outside of work. Let's just say that. And, yikes, you know? And it's just one of those things where I have to ask myself, you know, is this the kind of thing we want customers to be seeing when they come and eat at Wendy's? And the answer is no, you know. And generally when they come in, they're seeing people in the back getting their job done, working. They're able to laugh and goof off and have a good time and joke around with each other and keep each other busy and laughing and talkative, you know, but still working. Then, yeah, you know, it says we're productive and friendly. You know, that's generally what we try to give off, you know. Says the guy, look at the way you're dressed. And, you know, to that, I have to say that's a cliche, my friend. Just because I wear eye makeup and black lipstick and spike collars and have a long-ass hair and Ozzy Osbourne t-shirt and pentagram and shit doesn't mean I'm a bad person necessarily. I'm actually a completely different person when I work. All this comes off, you know, when I'm working, because it's an attempt to be a bit more professional, you know. But outside of work, I'm a different person, you know. Outside of work, completely different person, you know. But yeah, needless to say, I was not happy about the situation, and I wasn't even involved in it, you know. I was more so upset because both general managers aren't there that day today. The one general manager is still in town, the other one's on vacation. The one general manager is still in town, gets called, and she goes, do you need me to come in and deal with it? And the manager called her, she's like, no, we got this, okay, you know. But this is something I've noticed, and especially in fast foods. If you're having a bad day, and you decide to you know, hold on to that, your whole shift, and you take it out on your coworkers, guess what happens? By the end of the day, everyone's pissed. It doesn't matter what fucking job you're in, you know what I'm saying? So the rule of thumb is, if you're having a bad day, leave it at the door, because your coworkers shouldn't have to put up with it, and more importantly, customers shouldn't have to be exposed to that, you know? They come in to eat Wendy's and sit down and relax with their family and visit and have a good time and whatever, you know what I'm saying? And the last thing they, you know what I'm saying, they want to do is see a bunch of coworkers acting like children, because that's what it came down to, is them acting like children. And their history between the two is ironic as all hell. They used to be lovers, I guess they used to date, you could say. But one of them was completely lesbian. The other one, the one was bisexual. She ends up breaking up with the one girl and then getting together with some guy who gets her pregnant, who also works there. He then quits the job and leaves her with the kid, doesn't stick around for the kid or whatever, ends up in jail or some shit, I don't know. Anyway, she has the kid, couple months on the road, whatever. Okay, and then we get to today. And, you know, this isn't the first time I've seen a fight like that where people are yelling at each other at the place I work. And it's because fast food is a very stressful job, okay? And the one thing that can save people on stress the most in any job, especially fast food, is communication, okay? If there's a lack of communication and somebody fucks up on an order or a delivery or whatever, and the person in charge goes, what the fuck, you fucking son of a fuck, just going off on them and cussing them out and shit. It's like, wait a second, if you weren't communicating with your team, then how the fuck are you supposed to expect things to get done right, you know? If you don't know what to do, ask for help, and, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what job you're in, YouTube. Plain and simple. The number one thing with any job is teamwork, okay? You got to be able to work together with your team and get through your day, okay? Even if you don't like the person you work with, and that's going to come up a lot, okay? You're going to get those people you work with that think they know everything, and they think they're the boss, even though they're not. They're just another worker like you. Those people, okay, in the workforce flat out piss me off, okay? They're not even managers, and yet they're trying to tell you how to do your job. Now, it'd be one thing if you were new to the job and you needed help. Then, you know, it's totally appropriate for them to step in and say, hey, this is how you do your job. But no, I'm talking about situations where you get people who, you know, boss everybody around. They think they're in charge because they think they know everything, and then they don't, you know. It's just one of those things where it gets really irritating to a degree. I mean, really fucking frustrating it is. You know, especially when, you know, you got customers wanting food and they want it now. You know, they want to sit there and listen to two people bitch about how to fucking properly cook a hamburger or some shit. You like that, you know. And usually fights in fast food, that's usually what it's about, is something mild and stupid like that, and on how to do a certain job or whatever. And I can tell you right now, there's some jobs out there, you'll have more than one manager, more than one chief, okay, so to speak. And each manager will have a certain thing done differently. So let's say part of your job is prepping lettuce for a sandwich station. Well, one manager will say, this is how you're supposed to do it. And the other manager says, that's not the right way to do it, this is how you're supposed to do it. And if you get caught doing it the other manager's way, they yell at you for it. Now that kind of shit sucks when you're doing with a job like that, but that's part of the job, you see what I'm saying? So, again, it's about knowing, you should, you know, my advice to anyone going through shit like that right now with their job is to know each manager, know how each manager wants shit done, okay? Then you look it up in the books and see how it's done in the books. So if the one manager's version is right and the manager's version is wrong, you can call me and say, hey, this is not how that's done. I looked up in the books, and the other manager's, Mr. So-and-so said this is how it's supposed to be done, so therefore that's how it's supposed to be done, you know? And you get those things where it's like, shit, you know, it sucks, but it is what it is, okay? Okay, but obviously, fast food is no walk in the park. Okay, it's not exactly what you call the easiest job in the world. But then again, it's not the worst job in the world, you know what I'm saying? So. On a side note, for a limited time only, Mountain Dew Baja Blast will be available in stores. Yes, the very awesome and very delicious Mountain Dew that you buy at Taco Bell will be available at select stores like Kmart and Walgreens. So if you can get a chance to pick up a bottle or a can, give it a try. It's good soda. Just to show you I'm being legit here. Okay, right there. It's good stuff right there. That is, you know, it's a pretty tasty Mountain Dew in my opinion. So hopefully that little fight or I should say that happened today at work. Hopefully the customers who saw it go down, I hope it doesn't affect their view of, you know, Wendy's or anything like that. Cool, you're one to talk, Mr. on YouTube over here at the spikes and makeup and shit. I'm like, I don't wear the makeup or spikes when I'm working. I'm a different person when I'm working. This is when I'm outside of work. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, that is the most frustrating thing in the world, is to have a coworker who's having a bad fucking day and refuses to leave it at the door and just pretty much carries it with them to their job. And somehow the energy that they have, the energy of I'm having a bad fucking day, carries off and spreads to the rest of the coworkers. And by the end of the day, everyone's having a bad day. And I'm pretty sure this isn't the only case for just fast food. I'm pretty sure this is true for anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a situation where your job is high stress, then, you know, and that's just the thing, is fast food doesn't have to be high stress, you know? You don't let it get to you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're having a moment where you feel like you're about to freak out, you know, talk to one of your managers and say, hey, I'm upset because of such and such reason. It'd be okay if I don't have cigarettes to calm down. And I'm sure they'd be more than willing to say, I understand, go for it, you know. Because they'd rather see you calm and collected than losing your temper. Especially when you're in front of customers like that, okay? And it didn't help that the general managers aren't going to be here this week, on top of everything else. So, yeah, what the fuck? On a side note, apparently Avril Lavigne came out with a new track I think a couple weeks ago called Hello Kitty, and it seems to be going quite viral from what I can gather. And some people are accusing Avril Lavigne of making fun of Asians or whatever. I'm like, what? Because it has Hello Kitty in it? Part of me's thinking, okay, that seems legit. And part of me's going, you know what? That's just an excuse to say that this person's is being, you know, offensive to a certain culture. And I feel like it feels like sometimes that's all people do is look for an excuse to say, well, that person's being racist or that person's being da da da. You know, that's what it seems like. You know what I'm saying? But that could just be, I don't know. What I do know is that if you don't like the job you're working in, there's a solution to that. And it's a very easy one, you know. If you don't like the job you're working in, what you can do is talk to your manager, say, I can't stand working here anymore, I'm giving you my 2 weeks notice, you know. And you don't have to say it like that. You just say, give them your 2 weeks notice, and in that 2 weeks you look for another job. And if you don't, and you continue to work at the same place that makes you miserable, then you have no right to complain because you're not doing a goddamn thing to change the outcome to make your life better for you. Because life is really not that complicated, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so hopefully it hasn't affected customers' views on Wendy's or anything, because that's the number one thing I was concerned about, you know. And I want to hear any comments about, well, you're making videos talking about where you work and yada, yada, yada. It's like, oh, like I said, I'm a different person when I work. When I'm at work, none of this, the spikes, the bandana, the makeup, none of it's on when I'm working, okay? Because I'm a different person when I'm in the uniform, you know what I'm saying? So, no guarantee, though, that she'll get her job back. The one that went to jail today for assaulting one of her coworkers. And this kind of thing just makes me go, another bacon unit, another dollar. But I didn't, you know, from what I heard, I didn't let it affect the rest of my shift. I pretty much just stuck around, got my shit done, got out of there, and went about the rest of my day. It's really all you can do sometimes, you know. So, well, anyway, this is KingCobraJFS with another video, and thanks for watching, and see y'all later.